Welcome, Oilerville. My name is Jesus Sanchez, and today I'm here with the MHS Peer Ambassadors. Hello.
Wait, I think we got something. Yeah. Oh, that's no.
You guys should introduce.
I'll go with me first. My name is Anthony Ramirez. There's the camera, so we're just gonna be looking at each other. But my name is Anthony Ramirez. I'm a junior, and yeah, that's pretty much it about me. Yeah.
Right. I'll go next. Okay. Hi, my name is Michelle Garcia, and I am currently a freshman here.
Hi, my name is Ross, and I'm a sophomore.
And then
Hi, my name is Becky Duarte, and I am your school social worker, and I am overseeing our mental health peer ambassadors here at Montebello High.
Okay, so to start off, what do you guys think mental health is to you guys?
it's a lot of things. It can be health, because everything comes from your mind, right? Like it could be also physical health. If you don't have good mental health, you might not have good physical health. Like I guess there's a saying, your body is a reflection of your mind or something like that. But if you go to the gym, it reflects from your mind. I'm a get strong, and it all comes from your mind. Every action, everything that you do. Yeah, it's an important thing for the actions we make.
My perception on mental health is for me, I feel like it's experiences that you've gone through and that you use to go through things, I guess. So let's just say you had this event happen before to you, and it changed the way you see things, and to this day, because of that event, it could be a way you see certain things, and that's what I think mental health to me personally is.
To me, mental health, it can affect how you are and how you feel and how you act, and your experiences can either be negative or positive, and I feel like that can make you as a person. But even if your mental health it may be bad or good, it can change throughout time, and I feel like you can get better. If you're at your worst, you can feel better.
Okay.
Thank you guys for sharing. Yes. So
What does our teacher think?
Get the mic. I think you all gave a very good explanation of what mental health is. I think it's important for us to understand that mental health is an everyday thing, just like our physical health, and I will preach that every day, right? Just how we are mindful of what did we do today for our physical health, right? What are we doing today for our mental health? So it's really important that we pause, check in with ourselves, and what is it that we need to fill our bucket, to make sure that we are coping with things that we are struggling with. But I think you all gave a very great explanation of what mental health is.
Thank you everyone for sharing. Yes, that was very helpful for everyone, as mental health can play a very crucial life in our school lives, because mental health is very important as students to keep in check and everything. Mm-hmm. And with mental health, we're going to go into our next topic, which is a few of the mental health illnesses that people can be suffering from, which include both anxiety as well as depression. So do you guys have anything you guys want to add to this topic?
I feel like some people may suffer from anxiety, or they have anxiety, especially you can see signs throughout school, especially because that could either be being nervous for something that may be small but it can still affect you, or you can show some signs from let's say tapping on tapping your leg, that would be anxiety. But it's just, I feel like anxiety can make you feel something is really hard, even though it can be small or something really minor, but it can have a big effect on you.
I think another big thing is that a lot of people are they're oh, anxiety is a bad thing. It's a normal human emotions. That's a big topic I want to get into in a bit, probably. Is emotions. For sure, emotions, it's what makes us humans. So that's why we got to be understanding. We sometimes can't control those emotions because that's But I sometimes tell my friends like, oh, like without emotions, we would just be robots. We would just be with knowledge, like capsules of knowledge. But emotions, it can be our weakness or our strength. But it all depends on how we react or behave towards those emotions. One can be mad, but they can still be like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna get stuff and throw it around. Or they could be like, okay, I understand, I'm mad, but I'm gonna do my best to react to it or behave, in a positive way, how to cope with it. And that's one big thing that many people struggle with. But at the same time, you gotta be understanding to yourself, not be guilty, not feel guilt, not that, just being understanding to yourself and others. That's a big thing.
Adding on to what Anthony's saying, I agree with him completely, because just because you're feeling a certain way, it doesn't necessarily justify your actions, and we must learn how to express our emotions in a more healthier and positive way. There's many activities one can do, such as like, if you're feeling like stressed out or like angry, there's like, you could listen to music, you could do art, talk to a friend, talk to someone. And there's like so many ways in expressing that feeling, that emotion in a healthier way,
What do you guys personally do to like calm yourselves down?
I mean, music for sure is a big thing. I'm sure many people can relate. Like, music is a big, like, it's like a miracle, honestly.
Yeah,
You feel like an emotion, like you're like mad, and then you put like some Beethoven or something. I'm like, wow, like I feel calm, But like it's music for sure helps. Also like just a big thing I say is like focus on what makes you happy. Like if you worry about something, it won't change it. There's a quote I saw once: if you have a problem and you can solve it, then why worry about it? And then the other side says, if you have a problem but you can't do anything about it, then why worry about it? Like in both of them, like worrying changes nothing, right? Like I guess you can see like, oh, like maybe I can solve it like that, but like worrying changes nothing. It's a lot of like reflecting them and then understanding that like, oh, like well, I must like learn from this and continue moving forward. That's a big thing.
So what I like to do, like for me to relax is like probably like learning an instrument, because like with that, like you're basically like practicing like, and like you're testing yourself to see like what you can do, and like you can be patient with yourself, and that's good, and you're learning something new, and like I feel like you could share that skill with other people and stuff like that. So like to me, like that's really good, because like it helps me like relieve my stress, because like I'm able to play something that other people might enjoy too. So yeah, like music. Yeah, that's it.
What about you, Jesus?
Me personally, when I'm feeling like stressed out or just like tired, I would usually just grab like my sketchbook, and I would start like sketching drawings or whatever like I'm feeling at the moment. I would put music on, mostly Taylor Swift, but mostly just try to like get that emotion out of the way, and then so I could feel better, and I could continue with school and life.
I think it's all about like the coping mechanisms, that for sure, like knowing how to react with those emotions. Some people can't control them, but like you can decide what to do after you feel that emotion. It's inevitable that you're gonna feel emotions. That's what makes us humans, but how we react to that is what matters.
I really liked all of your guys' answers to how you guys cope with how you feel, and to add on to that, I feel like for me, what helps me like reduce my anxiety, or when I feel stressed or just feel like overall I've had a bad day, I really love to journal, because sometimes people feel like they can't talk to someone even though they might be close with them. Like they feel as if like they were a burden or burdening someone. And so journaling for me at least is like a way for me to really like put my feelings somewhere, because when I read it back, it's like I'm not alone anymore, because I'm listening to how I feel. And during all that journaling, I can really like process what I'm going through and really get into touch. Exactly. I get to reflect on what I've been feeling. And then like maybe sometimes like I'll be able to like get something out of that. Like, hey, I felt this way, so maybe I could figure out a way to help myself do this if I don't feel like I can reach out to somebody.
What you reminded me right now is that a saying that you cannot, like you're saying, like you journal your like experiences, right? You cannot change the past,
Yeah,
but you can learn from it.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot change the past, but you can learn from it and be better today, the present. Because you know what's the most important time of your life, of everybody's life? The present. That's the most important time. The present. You cannot change the past, but you can learn from it. You can have like memories, you can cherish those memories, but no one can simply change the past. That's impossible. So why even try to, I guess, change the past? Just focus on the present. I was talking with my history teacher. Shout out to Mr. De Leon, if some of you have him, right? Shout out to him. He might be mad because I shout him out, but shout out to him. But I was talking with him, and like we were talking about like people who regret stuff, right? Because like they're like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. But the thing is, like, there's something wrong with that, because like if you could have done another thing, then you would have. But since you didn't, then you couldn't have. You made the decision with the knowledge that you had up to that point in time. Maybe after that action, you maybe learned a lesson, right? But like in that moment in time, you didn't know that lesson. We cannot change the past, but we can learn from it. And, with that knowledge, be better in the present, better for yourself, better for others, for the people you love, That's a big, for sure, like philosophy quote, I guess, right? You cannot change the past, but learn from it and be better today, the present. Wait, one more thing. There's from the Kung Fu Panda movie. I'm not sure which one, but there's a quote that Master Uwe says. You might know it, Jesus. The past is history, the future is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it's called present. So that's also like where I got my motivation for the quote. You cannot change the past, but you can learn from it and be better in the present. It's all about perspective. Perspective in life, how you live about it.
And I think you are all adding a really great point into the coping skills and anxiety, and really just that a little bit of anxiety is normal, right? And we all experience anxiety. It comes from stress. But and utilizing your coping strategies is important, right? To help you manage that stress, manage that anxiety so that it doesn't get too big, right? But also, I think it's important to acknowledge that, there are instances where anxiety just becomes a little bit too severe and too frequently. And it can be impairing, right? And it can really impact not only our mental, but really our physical health, and impact the way that we perceive threats and go through our day-to-day. So I think it's also important to be able to identify when anxiety has become a little bit too severe and you might need to seek out for help, because you don't have to face it alone, right? And it doesn't always have to be, that you need to start therapy right away, right? Or that you need to sign up, and find a therapist. But it can be reaching out to your support systems, right? And just knowing that you're not alone, and reaching out to that support. And I know that we've talked about anxiety, right? And what those signs look like. And maybe you guys can share that with everybody.
Yeah. Okay. So why don't we all share 2 signs of anxiety?
If you guys want, I could start. So one of the major signs of anxiety is feeling on the edge or having that difficulty, like concentrating on like a task or a project or something.
Yeah.
Feelings of worry, feelings of easily fatigued. It also reflects on your like physical body. That's it.
So 2 signs of anxiety could also be like stomach aches or headaches, like, and that could also affect you, like, even though it may be small. But yeah.
I think the ones that I think everybody go through are unexplained pains, overthinking, and racing thoughts. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I think it's again important for us to highlight, right, that if you are struggling, right, just to seek out that support and know that you have a support system here on campus to help you out, right? And I know that sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. Stigma with mental health is still really high, and I think that's a great topic that maybe we can talk about. What is some stigma that you all have experienced here on campus, or even just being a youth, I think maybe that would be a good topic.
Would you like to start us off with this?
Sure. Okay, so stigma, I feel like in today's society, many like students and many youth like are very like afraid or concerned about like going through like mental like a therapy session, or there's like so much stigma around that they have a fear of seeking out help, and they feel or they believe that it would be easier if they just face it off alone. And sometimes we just have to remind everyone that you guys don't have to face it alone. There's like so many resources that one could take advantage of to help your mental health get better, you know?
I mean, for me, like I can for sure vouch for that because, like, in my experience, like, there's been many people in my life who have severely, like, significantly helped me. Like, for sure, like, we're all in this together. We're all humans in this world trying to survive, right? But we must be understanding to each other that we all are humans with emotions. You know, it may overtake us sometimes, but we've all gone through similar experiences, maybe a bit different, but we all care about each other because we're all in this together. We're all humans. We're all doing our best. You know, that's the only thing we can do. Our best.
I feel like stigma is like a really bad thing, especially for people who are like ill or like they want to try to get help, but sometimes they can't, especially because of like the people around them, and like they're afraid of like getting help, especially because they feel like they'll get treated like badly. So that's why I feel like stigma is like, it's like a like stigma is like how do I put this, like there's a lot of stigma, so I feel like a lot of people aren't receiving the help that they deserve or need.
I feel like one of the reoccurring things is what people's opinions on them, because a lot of people are afraid to say certain things, like even just things they find really comforting, because people have generally, some people have like a lot of things to say. There's very judgmental people here, and then there's people who will probably understand you more than others. And I know that I like go through that a lot, because I feel like sometimes I can't speak out about things because I feel like I'm going to get judged by another person. So I think that's like one of like the major things that people are like afraid of, being judged by other people.
What about you, Miss?
I think, like you all have shared, right? Stigma is really much still alive, right? And really preventing so many of us from seeking help, talking to others, right? Which ultimately it impacts our mental health negatively, right? Because we put it to the side, right? Where we're like, oh, okay, well, because of stigma, we might be feeling a certain way, but don't seek that help. And we keep putting it to the side and putting it to the side, which negatively impacts our mental health, making our mental health right now become more of a bigger issue, right? So I think really removing that stigma is important in our community, and just really normalizing that it is okay to not be okay. It is okay to seek help when you need it. It is okay to practice strategies for your mental health every day. And really just knowing that you don't have to have a mental health illness or disorder. You don't have to be diagnosed with, a mental health disorder to seek out mental health, to talk to someone, right? It is beneficial to seek out that support when you need it, when, your feelings just become a little bit too big and uncomfortable and you just really need to vent, or you really just want to practice a strategy that that helps you, like you all shared, right? Like journaling, listening to music, right? Those are all really great strategies that you all shared, right? Like mindfulness, right? Deep breathing, like they are really great strategies that we can all use in our day-to-day to really help our mental health. So I think that it's important for us to keep doing the work to remove the stigma, to normalize mental health, to normalize seeking help, and to normalize not being okay.
All right. Well, on this topic, I feel like we should also share some resources on where we could get help, because a lot of people may try coping mechanisms or things to try to help them out, and that might not work for certain people, and they just really want to talk to someone about it. And sometimes people want someone to talk to who isn't their friends or their parents. So I feel like we should all share like maybe somewhere on campus that some people could go to seek help if they ever need it.
Yeah.
So one of like the many resources school offers is that we have a school counselor, and every grade level has one, and you could just go talk to her about anything you might be dealing with, and she'll offer like a lot of support depending on who your counselor is, and they'll be able to give you advice or that help you sometimes just need, and also advice on your mental health as well.
And also we have our C5, our SFW therapist. What does SFW stand for again?
That's our Students and Family Wellness. So that's Miss Stephanie Lopez. She is our SFW therapist.
You didn't pick up the...
So SFW is Montebello Students and Family Wellness. So C5 is your SFW therapist, Miss Stephanie Lopez.
Yeah, for sure. She's a very amazing therapist, I could say for sure. Yeah.
Ross?
You can also go to D2 to our school social worker. She's right here, by the way. Or you can also tell like any trusted adult on campus, like whoever you feel is best that you could tell, that you could talk to about anything. It doesn't matter, but like someone you trust, you know.
Yeah. And if you don't want to talk to anybody maybe in school, then there's always many great resources online that could really help somebody if they feel like they don't really want to speak to someone they already know. Because sometimes I feel like yes, they say that they're understanding, but sometimes they might not be, depending on who they are, of course, because there are very good understanding people here. But sometimes people just want to talk to somebody that they might not know about it, and that's why we have many resources online that could be very beneficial, like our teen line.
As peer ambassadors of this school, we're just here to help promote mental health to everyone. Try to reduce that stigma so students could feel that reassurance of being able to ask for help, and just help our community here, because everyone deserves that opportunity to be able to strive.
It would for sure help you in your life for the rest of your life. You may learn some lessons, for sure. We're promoting the peer ambassador. It's going to start up again next year, you said, right? Next year. So who are welcomed again? All
students, any student that is interested in promoting mental health on campus, removing the stigma, really bringing any mental health needs to light, and you just want to be an advocate for mental health, you are welcome to join us. We are going to start it next school year again, and we will have it both semesters. So if you are interested, come visit me in D2, or reach out to me by email here on campus.
Doesn't that sound amazing, Jesus? Wouldn't you love to join?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think joining our group would be really beneficial to anybody, because you guys could learn more about what everybody here said, like the stigma and how to reduce certain things. And I feel like it's a really good experience and thing to get into, because at first, I knew nothing about this until Ross here, told me about it. And I joined, and I started learning a whole bunch of new things, and it became something that I looked forward to every Monday. And I really started bonding with everybody here. And I just feel like it's a really cool thing to do, because you could do certain activities with everybody that'll help you bond, it'll help you learn more. And you could become somebody comforting to anybody who ever needs to talk to somebody. So if you're not good with active listening per se, you could become a better active listener by learning different ways too. And I feel like it's a really educating thing for people to come and join us.
I would go as far as to say it's life-changing.
Yeah.
For sure.
I definitely agree on that.
Yeah, life-changing to yourself, and imagine to the people you love. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want for you to have skills and abilities to help the people that you see struggle and worry? You can help them by listening to them, by many things you can learn in this, for sure, in this club, right? It's a club. Kind of.
Kind of. We're a little team.
I also agree with you guys because like this program is like really fun, and like how Michelle said that like we get to learn like new skills, and like how you said like new stuff, and like just like important information that can also help you for example, like if you didn't know about like how to cope, like I feel like this is really helpful, and like this is just like really supportive to like help people and like join, you know.
And also, like the community we built here in the peer ambassador program. Like even if you're like not so sure or you don't feel that confidence, like right here, it's very welcoming. You guys, we're like very open and everything. So you guys also get to meet like new people and everything. So if you're feeling like concerned or like even like scared to join, don't feel scared because this is like a first step to actually helping our community and increase like a positive change in the world, you know? Any final thoughts?
Any last moving messages?
I mean,
I mean, I think for sure, like let's like finish it on a note to always take into consideration your mental health. For sure that it'll help you and all the people you love for sure in the long run. And yeah, there's if you ever wondered how you can learn more about it, well, here we are. It doesn't have to be with us. You can also research online, ask people who probably know about it. But for sure, if you're gonna do like a job or something important in the future, it would be a good thing to have a peace of mind. Not if you have like anger issues, or not saying that like, oh, like it's your problem, like no, like ways to cope with it, ways to really take it into consideration, right? Like, hey, maybe I can like get some help, and like I could be better for myself and others. For sure, that's a big thing, taking into consideration your mental health. A lot of people just live their lives with just like that same problem over, and they're like, oh, why is this happening to me? Why do I feel this way? I would be like, well, have you tried looking into it, your mental health? Like, it's just a lot of people are afraid of it, like you were saying, the stigma, right? But for sure, give it a try. Give it a try looking into it, taking into consideration your own mental health, because you matter. You really, you only live once in this world, right? So you might as well do your best to live a happy life for yourself and the people you love, right? You only get one shot in life, only one shot. You can never undo any actions you do in your life. You can never undo the past. You can never go to the past. From this moment on, you make better decisions. You can learn from the past. You can cherish the memories. You can learn and live in the present, because that's the most important time of our lives, the present. And yeah, overall, just live in the present, being a better person for yourself and others. And yeah, for sure, taking into consideration mental health really matters.
I hope that one thing, or a couple of many things that were really important in the podcast, I hope that people, that one thing they take away from this is that there are many like support systems, whether they know it or not, and that they could look into that, and that to know that what they feel isn't something that they shouldn't look upon. Like, it's something that really is important, and if you don't take care of that, then like things could go like in their own bad way. So I just like want the people watching this to know that like you matter, and that you're important, and don't ever let anybody or yourself make you feel like you don't matter and that how you feel isn't right. So yeah, I just want you guys to know that everything will be okay, whether whatever is going on will pass, and there's many different support systems that you could look into.
And also to always remember to be understanding to yourself. Be understanding that we are all humans, and we're bound to have emotions that might overtake us. But in those times, in those hard times, we must be understanding to oneself that, hey, there's a normal emotion, and I have all the right to have this emotion, but now I need to, be mature, or try to be mature, and
Fill your cup. What is it that I need?
yeah, like try to see how you can cope with that emotion. We're bound to have emotions. That's what makes us humans, right? Like, imagine if no one had emotions. That would be quite the quite the 180 from right now. But for sure, emotions. It's without knowing sadness, we cannot know happiness. One cannot exist without the other. Without knowing pain, we cannot know joy. Without knowing joy, we cannot know pain. It all has to exist both. So that's why we must be understanding to the laws of nature and to ourselves, right? Being understanding that emotions are normal. But now, if we look into the mental health aspect of it, how to cope with those emotions and, just living in the present, doing our best because we're humans after all, and we're always doing our best, hopefully.
Yeah, everything's a learning process, and I just hope that people don't think that they're broken beyond repair, because there's no such thing. Everything takes time, and people begin to feel better in their own timelines and their own ways and stuff. So I just really hope that people who really feel like they might need that extra step take it, because it's really important to make sure that you feel okay, both mentally, physically, everything.
Yeah, and then also one thing I was going to say also earlier, to be understanding, because not only to yourself but to others too, because others may also go through those emotions that you've experienced it yourself, that you cannot control your emotions sometimes. So that may go with other people. I know there's a lot of people out there who cannot forgive someone or who are really mad at someone, but you also got to be understanding to them that they're human too. We're all in this together. We all go through our different experiences in life. We all have different genetics. Genetics has a big part to do with our personalities, which then leads to our decisions in life, which then leads to our results, to what happens. But for sure, genetics, experiences, the knowledge, it all contributes to this personality we have. And sometimes it's not our fault the way we're raised, That's why child development, the course in college exists, right? It explains how the psychology, behind our personalities, I guess, right? Comes from our genetics, our experiences. Maybe because we experience this, we react this way to this, And sometimes we may not have control over how one is raised, And that's why we must be understanding to ourselves and to all of those around us who may anger us, or who may do something we're like, oh, why'd you do that? Oh, we have to be understanding that the decisions they make is the best decision they can make, and the only decision they can make with the knowledge that they have in that point in time in their lives. So that's why we got to be understanding to ourselves and others, being considerate.
Would you guys like to add anything?
Yes. Okay. So I would also like to add, we're gonna shift a little bit, but I also want to add that you sometimes, maybe life for you is going smoothly or as smooth as it could possibly be, and then you see like a friend struggling, or you like notice the sign that someone's struggling, but you also notice that they're also maybe fearful of asking for help or anything. You should also be willing to be that friend who is gonna give that support. Also be that friend who is gonna be empathetic and try to understand how you truly feel and make you feel welcome. That it doesn't like scare you away. Try to be that friend that will change the world one person at a time.
It's important to be like mindful and thoughtful, like with you, but with others as well. Because, like, if you want support and if you wanted someone to help you, then it's important for you to do that for others.
For sure, active listening is very, very big. You might be like, oh, but I'm just listening to them. You have no idea how much active listening helps. It really, really helps. I cannot emphasize that enough. For sure, you just venting, and them just listening, it's life-changing, for sure. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just life-changing. Active listening.
You all shared some really good strategies with everyone, and I think you all made a really great point. And I also hope that from this, right, the message that we all get is that our mental health is important, and it's important every day, and it is okay to seek help, right? It is okay to advocate for your friends if they need support, advocate for yourself if you need support, and just really practicing healthy strategies to support your mental health every day and seeking out help when you need it.
I think we've hit all the good topics and stuff.
I think we should call it wraps.
Yep, we'll call it
I think this is the end of our podcast.
But yeah, well, for sure, let's say a big thank you for... Let's say for sure big thank you for everybody who made it to the end probably few, but to those who made it, you know,
Those
thank
who
you so
really
much.
resonated with
Yeah,
this.
for sure. Being open-minded. I am proud of whoever made it this far to the
Yeah.
podcast. You know, being open-minded, being like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try and listen to the entire podcast, or maybe skip to the end. You know, but thank you for listening to our mental health awareness and our promoting for peer ambassador. If you guys want to join next year, you know,
Definitely
all
should.
grades are welcome, and it's a life-changing experience for sure. You know, I would recommend it. Being open-minded to many things in life. You never know. You may find something you like, you don't like, but if you don't try it, how are you gonna know? You know. So, I really, really, really advocate for it. Yeah. Well, I think that's right.
That's it. And for everybody who's watching, just remember that nothing you feel or have felt isn't unimportant. Everything you feel is important, and there's no way that you guys should ever think that like what you feel is something that's not important. So
All emotions are valid. We're all humans. But no
we all perceive things differently than others.
perspective. Yeah. Being understanding to each other. All right. Then. Well, thank you.
That's wraps.
Let's say bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
And cut.